Before we begin, I'd like you to try a quick challenge. If you're sitting down right now, that's perfect. Because in just a few seconds, you're going to perform a simple leg strength test that takes less than 30 seconds. At first glance, it seems almost too easy. But this simple movement can reveal a surprising amount about your leg strength, your mobility, and even how well your body may handle everyday activities in the years ahead. Don't worry if the result isn't what you expected. This isn't about judging yourself. It's about understanding your body so you can keep it strong, active, and independent for as long as possible. If you enjoy learning simple ways to protect your mobility after 60, subscribe to the channel. Every week we share practical tips to help women stay active, confident, and independent. Ready? Let's try the test together. So let's do the test together. If it's safe for you to do so, sit on a sturdy chair with your feet flat on the floor. Cross your arms over your chest if you can. If that doesn't feel safe, you can keep your hands close by for support. Now stand up completely and sit back down. Repeat that movement 5 times at a comfortable pace. Take your time. There's no need to rush. As you do it, pay attention to how your body feels. Did you stand up smoothly? Did you need to rock your body forward to gain momentum? Did you have to push with your hands? Did your legs start feeling tired after just a few repetitions? Or did you notice that your balance felt a little unsteady? These small details matter much more than most people realize. This isn't a competition and there isn't a perfect score. The purpose of this test isn't to prove how strong you are. It's to help you notice how your body handles one of the most important movements you perform every single day. Think about it for a moment. How many times do you stand up from a chair in a single day? When you get out of bed? When you stand up after breakfast? When you get up from the couch? When you use the bathroom? When you get out of the car? It's a movement you repeat dozens of times without giving it much thought. But the ability to stand up comfortably is one of the clearest signs that your legs are providing the strength and stability you need to stay independent. That's why this simple test can tell us so much. It doesn't just measure your legs. It reflects how your muscles, your balance, and your coordination work together during a movement that's essential for everyday life. And if this movement already feels more difficult than it used to, your body may be giving you an early signal that deserves attention. Not because something is necessarily wrong, but because it's the perfect time to start taking care of your strength before those small changes become bigger challenges. But why does standing up from a chair become more difficult in the first place? Why standing up becomes harder after 60? But why does standing up from a chair become more difficult in the first place? It may seem like a simple movement, but standing up is actually one of the most demanding things your legs do every day. Unlike walking, where your body is already moving forward, standing up requires your muscles to lift your entire body weight from a complete stop. Your brain sends a signal. Your muscles respond. Your joints begin to move. And all of this has to happen in perfect coordination within just a few seconds. When we're younger, we rarely think about this because it happens automatically. But as we get older, several small changes begin to happen inside the body. One of the first changes involves muscle power. This is different from muscle strength. Strength is how much force your muscles can produce. Power is how quickly they can produce that force. And standing up from a chair depends heavily on muscle power. Your thighs and hips must generate enough force almost instantly to lift your body upward. Over time, that quick burst of power naturally becomes a little slower. This doesn't always mean you're weak. In fact, many women can still carry groceries, climb a few stairs, or stay active throughout the day. But they begin noticing that getting out of a chair requires a little more effort than it used to. Sometimes they lean farther forward. Sometimes they push with their hands. Sometimes they pause for a moment before standing. These small adjustments often happen so gradually that they feel completely normal. But they're actually your body's way of compensating for changes that have developed little by little over the years. And muscles aren't the only part of the story. Standing up also depends on your balance, your core muscles, your joints, and the communication between your brain and your legs. The moment you begin to stand, your body has to shift your center of gravity forward while keeping you stable enough not to lose your balance. That requires dozens of muscles working together at exactly the right time. It's an incredible example of teamwork inside your body. And when one part of that system becomes less efficient, the others have to work even harder to compensate. That's why standing up can become more challenging long before you notice major weakness. It's often one of the earliest signs that your body is asking for a little more attention. Not because it's failing, but because it's adapting. Your body can still become stronger. So, if this test felt more difficult than you expected, does that mean your leg strength will continue getting worse? Not at all. One of the most encouraging things about the human body is that it never completely loses its ability to adapt. Even after 60, even after 70, and even later in life, your muscles continue responding to the way you use them. Every time you challenge your muscles, they receive a message. We are still needed. And when that message is repeated consistently, your body begins to respond. In fact, this isn't just an encouraging idea. One landmark study from Tufts University followed adults in their 80s who participated in a supervised strength training program. After several weeks, the researchers found significant improvements in muscle strength and physical function, demonstrating that even very old muscles can respond positively when they are challenged. That's an important reminder. Growing older doesn't mean your body stops adapting. It means your body may need a little more time, consistency, and the right kind of stimulus. Think about learning any new skill. You don't improve after doing it once. You improve by repeating it over and over again. Your muscles work in a very similar way. Every time you stand up from a chair without relying on your hands, every time you climb a few stairs, every time you go for a walk, or perform simple strength exercises, you're giving your muscles and your nervous system another opportunity to work together. Little by little, those repeated signals help improve coordination, build strength, and make everyday movements feel more natural. That's why today's test isn't about proving whether you're strong or weak. It's simply showing you where you are today. And that's the most important part. Once you know where you're starting, you can begin making small improvements that add up over time. Because once you know where you're starting, you can begin taking small steps to improve. Many women are surprised by how much easier everyday movements begin to feel after they consistently work on their leg strength. Not because they became athletes, but because their bodies responded exactly as they were designed to do, by adapting to regular movement. The habits that help keep your legs strong. So, what can you actually do to keep your legs strong as you get older? Many people think the answer is spending hours at the gym or following complicated exercise programs. But that's rarely necessary. What matters most is giving your muscles a reason to stay strong. Remember, your muscles are always adapting to the demands you place on them. If those demands disappear, your muscles naturally become less efficient over time. But when you continue challenging them, even in simple ways, they receive the signal to stay active. That's why everyday movement is so powerful. Walking regularly, climbing stairs when it's safe, standing up from a chair without using your hands whenever possible, carrying groceries, working in the garden. Even these ordinary activities help remind your muscles that they're still needed. Adding a few minutes of leg strengthening exercises 2 or 3 times a week can make an even bigger difference. Exercises like chair squats, step-ups, calf raises, or seated leg extensions help strengthen the muscles that play the biggest role in standing, walking, and climbing stairs. Just as important as practicing your balance. Strong muscles help you generate movement, but good balance helps you control it. The two work together. That's why activities like standing on one leg while holding onto a sturdy support, walking heel to toe, or practicing simple balance exercises can be valuable additions to your routine. And don't forget something many people overlook: recovery. Your muscles don't become stronger while you're exercising. They become stronger while they're recovering. Getting enough sleep, eating enough protein throughout the day, and staying physically active all work together to support healthy muscles as you age. The goal isn't to become stronger than everyone else. The goal is much simpler. To make everyday movements feel easier. To stand up with confidence. To walk without hesitation. To climb stairs more comfortably. And to continue enjoying your independence for as many years as possible. So how did you do? Maybe you stood up with no difficulty at all. Maybe you noticed that your legs felt a little weaker than you expected. Or perhaps you realized you've been relying on your hands much more than you used to. Whatever your result was, remember this. Today's test wasn't about labeling you as strong or weak. It was about helping you notice something that many people ignore until it starts affecting their everyday life. The ability to stand up from a chair may seem like a small movement. But it represents something much bigger. It reflects your strength, your balance, your confidence, and your ability to stay independent. The encouraging part is that your result today doesn't have to be your result 6 months from now. Our bodies are constantly adapting to the choices we make every day. Every walk, every time you choose the stairs, every strength exercise, every healthy habit. These small decisions may not seem dramatic from one day to the next, but over time they can make a meaningful difference in the way you move and the way you live. If you tried the test, I'd love to hear how it went. Did you complete all 5 repetitions comfortably? Or was it more challenging than you expected? Let me know in the comments. Were you able to stand up 5 times without using your hands? Or did you discover that this is something you'd like to improve? I genuinely love to hear how you did. Your story may encourage someone else to start paying attention to their own mobility. And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Every week we share simple science-based strategies to help women over 60 stay strong, active, and independent for many years to come. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.